There is power in numbers.
Sometimes numbers are good. Sometimes numbers are bad.
Did you know that more than 16 million American children live in poverty?
That's my biggest fear is I don't want my kids to go hungry or, unclothed or anything like that. I was needing clothes, I was needing food, help with rent, because at that time I didn't trust anyone with my children.
The need is clearly increasing for the kinds of services and programs that are offered through Precious Child.
The families that we see and that we work with are facing a multitude of struggles and challenges in their life.
Clothing, school supplies, often the things that are provided by Precious Child are not available through public assistance programs. So they fill a niche that we're not able to meet through our existing funding sources or funding streams.
It's just, I think that oftentimes they are frustrated and they're scared and they're sad and they feel defeated and they've really lost hope.
Childhood poverty costs the United States about $500 billion per year.
Poverty is linked to a number of negative outcomes for kids, including completing fewer years of schooling, working fewer hours, and earning lower wages as adults, which then continues the cycle of poverty for generations.
Consider this. Children in poverty are more likely to show up to school unprepared.
Show up to school without proper attire. These kids are more likely to not show up for school at all.
There was a point where we didn't have any money whatsoever. Having to come here and basically ask for somebody to clothe our children. We couldn't at that point in our life. We were in a bad position, not working.
My oldest, Cody, he was at kindergarten at South Lakewood, and there was a kid stepping on his feet and picking on him, saying you have ugly clothes, that you shouldn't be here.
Last year, nearly 90,000 students across Colorado were considered habitually truant.
That means they don't go to school enough.
Right, and that's nearly 10% of all students enrolled in Colorado public schools.
And not only are they missing school, children who live in poverty are less likely to participate in sports.
We have so many kids that want to participate in sports alongside their peers, but their families cannot afford to have them participate or pay for those registration fees. So we're able to come alongside, help the leagues, and pay for that child so that they can actually get a basketball, they can practice alongside their peers, and that they're no different than any other child on their team.
Children who live in poverty are also less likely to graduate from high school.
These numbers are tough and overwhelming.
And that's because we know behind every number is a child.
We have teamed up with over 250 agency partners.
$3,013 community volunteers, 1,656 caring donors
To provide services
to our 8 programs
and start chipping away at some of these troubling numbers.
plaguing our kids.
This past year, we've served 37,400 children and families.
When people call and they've been here and they're like, I need to make my next appointment, and then they'll tell you about, how nice the clothes were, how much everybody helped them out, how much, the questions got answered. It's like they have this whole family called the Precious Child of people that just do everything to help everybody. It's kind of like a magic.
All of those things serve our families. Precious Child is a mover and a shaker.
The different shoes they give them, not only a pair of shoes that they need, but they give them stuff to match, and it's all seasonal and appropriate. Nothing is ever stained. It's really good quality clothes. You come not just one time, they help you throughout the entire year, literally. I think you get 3 or 4 trips, but you get stuff for the spring, the summer, the fall, the winter, and 3 pairs of shoes, that's a huge deal for a child. They've saved us literally thousands. If it wasn't for them, what clothes would we have had then? They would have never had a chance to have nice clothes, had it not been for Precious Child at one point in our life.
What if we increase the good numbers even more?
We'd knock down the bad numbers.
All of our individual volunteers really get the big picture. They understand why we're trying to help children of Colorado, why it's important to continue pushing a Precious Child's name in the community. Our volunteers are the heart of this organization.
More volunteers
Plus more donors
equals more children we can help.
The issue of child poverty is definitely monumental, but there is power in numbers, and with more support, we can and will ensure that impoverished children have the basic essentials they need to thrive in school, so that they can have a fair shot at ending the cycle of poverty.
There is power in numbers.